Rosenrot. Anyways, hey, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Here again. Now, supposedly this is gonna be a rather important, trial day. And, I'm pretty worried. Because I realize I've had not one, not two. Yeah, I've had a good 3 days in between playing this game. I'm trying to piece together. Yeah, no, Phoenix is not ready for that. Phoenix is not capable of being a parent/mentor of any sort. Oh shit, you're right. That's gonna leave a mental scar. Or maybe a few. So yeah, no, I really gotta get my act together and remember all the details. So, who was the fucking victim again? Huan! Huan was the victim. Engard is the defendant. Mon Karma is naturally on prosecution, unfortunately. We did not get Edgeworth. Well, it's not like I had a chance to talk to him. Guy went up and died before his big performance on stage. No, wait. It wasn't his big performance on stage. He was already on stage. It was Engard who was supposed to go on stage confessing about something. And then there were all those sewer slides. God, I fucking hate that term, but that was the first thing that came to my mind while trying to recap the entire case thus far. And I was like, yeah, nah, I'll take everybody down with me. If I'm mentally going to die, I'm not leaving survivors. But yeah, okay, so there's the Andrew's manager had a thing with Huan. Don't know exactly how serious. Wanted to find out the suicide note. Nobody found that. Gumshoes. Probably cannot afford peanuts now either anymore. I mean, Edgeworth is around. I actually had a chance to talk to him. The whole two-part note. Andrew's kind of unstable, dependent, most likely killer, but don't know yet. The fact that this wasn't directly disclosed that, like, oh yeah, Andrews is the killer, kinda implies a second trial. There's gotta be a big, it's gotta be a big turnabout, halfway through. But hey, I mean, honestly, I keep recapping this for as long as I can. It wouldn't change much. Anyways, March 22nd, 9:47 a.m. District Court, defendant lobby number 3 this time. Adrian did it? Oh wait, okay, never mind. We're going directly into the whodunit. That's what it looks like. Dude, no way. That woman can do anything like that. Are you saying that women can't do it? Do you understand that this is the second last day of March and you're saying that right now? Dude, I expected better of you, spineless moron. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. A mountain of evidence? I'm certain there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer, dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze already. I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. I understand. Who would this be? Actually, I just remembered we ended off channeling Mia through pearls. So this could be a Mia through pearls. Oh yeah, we had the whole fucking recap of what happened to Maya, who's actually on the fucking run. Not from the law, but towards the law. What the fuck is happening here? Too much. Anyways, I'm gonna assume that this is probably... I don't know, I'm gonna go with Edgeworth. Well, it's almost time. Nope, it's Mia. Mia. We must get a complete acquittal today. I was kinda hoping for Edgy Boy to come by for like a little, you know, pep talk. You'll do well. I know. But I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed. Well, let's get going. Beep, beep, beep. It's him. This is some pep talk from the killer? Beep. This is Wright. Good morning, this is it, Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial. Maya, she's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall I say, tired. Don't worry, people don't die that easily. Besides, what you are really should be concerned on is winning today's trial. For my sake as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Present? What in the world would you want to give me? You'll figure it out once the trial starts. And even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept the end with win today's contest, if you please. Wait. Beep. The kidnapper sent me a present? Like Santa Claus? Mr. Lawyer Dude, who was that? No one. It's nothing to do with you. So forget you heard anything. If there's one thing that Engard knows how to do is to, you know, well, belittle women and to do what he's told. Dude, did your nose just get longer? And apparently make Pinocchio references. March 22nd, 10 a.m., District Courtroom number 3. There's no defendant. Oh no, there's no prosecution. Court is now in session for the trial of Matt Engard. Are the prosecution and the defense ready? The defense is ready, Your Honor. Not like Karma to be late. I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma? I don't know, maybe we killed her. Like we killed her father. Now that was the justice system. I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? Your Honor. Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Prosecutor Von Karma has... This morning, Miss Von Karma was shot by an... Whoa! Shot by an gunman. What? Shot? Fatally or not? Somehow, I think this is the present the man was talking about. Ooh, yikes. This does not look good in court. This is not in my favor. What the fuck? Does that guy know nothing about law and courtroom and the drama that goes in there and just how, you know, like... He's present. Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be to your advantage. This is totally insane. Miss Von Karma, is she alright? I don't have that answer. Ask the bailiff. She's alive in a stable condition. That's good. Phew. Oh, you're... I thought he would show up. the Edgeworth team plays. Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Miss Francisca von Karma cannot appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready. Naturally. I feel like we're at a disadvantage here. Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. Okay, so she was shot on the shoulder. Damn. Papa Von Karma would be really displeased with her actually going to a hospital and not sitting throughout the case with the bullet still in the shoulder. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt Engard.
The car acknowledges the prosecution.
Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. Yeah, but he didn't make a show of it. And he never removed the bullet either. Which is why there was an invasive fucking metal detector scene. I still can't believe that was a fucking thing that happened in the first game. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Huh. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. Witness, your name and occupation.
My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct.
For now.
For now?
After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir.
Yeah, again, this is another game ending, another job position in danger for Gumshoe. Okay, you know, you are right. Francisca was, as far as we know, is not guilty of, killing anyone yet. And also, it's really awkward to turn down an ambulance if it's been called to you. So yeah, I mean, sure, the fucking medical bills will most likely, she's rich, she doesn't care. Anyways.
Detective Gumshoe?
The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. God damn it, Edgy. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. You ready, Phoenix? This is going to be one very rough fight.
Yeah, it would have to be Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for, interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth.
Bare facts of the case. And actually never, I'm not making that joke. Phoenix would feel a bit embarrassed.
This murder happened right after the Hero of Heroes of Art ceremony, sir. The victim, Yuan Karita, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir.
Yes, the little butter knife piercing his, rib cage, scratching his rib cage, definitely is the source of that.
At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty Kidara case. However, we later found out that the Kidara case had nothing to do with the murder.
Okay, this is really setting off like there's gonna be multiple trials, actually.
After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room?
Yes, sir. Both the victim and defendant went alone in their room, sir.
I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Man, how am I supposed to survive without getting whipped all the time?
This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes award ceremony, sir. Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony? Okay, pal, the ceremony started at 6 p.m. It ended around 8 p.m. And then there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later. And that's when the victim's body was found, correct?
Which is to say, the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period.
Please continue with your testimony, detective.
30-minute break period. Okay. I mean, okay, that's enough time for everybody to finish their meals. For someone to put some sleeping pills into a Engard's meal, have him pass out, and then sneak away in his samurai costume and commit murder.
The victim, Yunkarita, was found dead in his hotel room. The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct? Yeah.
Where is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about?
She's the defendant, Engard's manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir.
How is this relevant to the case? I don't know.
Oh, so she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence.
Judge, please, you're supposedly married. At least one of you is.
When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. Engard. After visiting his room, she next went to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir.
I see, and that's when she found the victim's body.
After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. The cause of death? Wasn't that because Mr. Carter was stabbed in the chest? Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking. Did I get the autopsy? No, I never got the fucking autopsy report. Great. So I've been called brainless amateur. Or careless and brainless amateur because I was never given the fucking autopsy report. But yeah, no, I mean that knife is not lethal.
Take a good hard look at the crime photo.
Oh, don't worry about the hard part. Not in this courtroom.
Now, a real pro's attention would be drawn here to this bandana.
Was he actually strangled?
Banana.
Banana. What the fuck?
His bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir.
Oh, yes, I see. He's banana scented bandana.
Smooth. Really smooth.
Then, what about the knife? It seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death.
I mean, you know, it would have been really nice to get the autopsy report. Like, I would have upgraded it for, you know, gladly if I had one. God damn it. Also, never found the cam. There are so many things in this case. I am not getting this done by Wednesday, am I? Holy shit.
We have a crafty murder on our hands here.
Oh, this is another unfortunate accident where, you know, the knife is completely irrelevant. Like, that was some, I don't know, knife play or whatever was going on in this, you know, hotel room. But Corrida was gifted a banana-filled bandana, and he did not. And the person that gave the gift did not know that he was allergic, and he died. It's all just a misunderstanding. Hey, autopsy record. Report. Add to a call record. It was fucking money from the last case. Damn. Barry Top is never gonna recover from this financially or mentally. Huan's autopsy report. Time of death 8:15 p.m. Cause strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. Honestly, the stabbing is still just completely surface level, I feel like.
At first we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. And why did you think that? Because it was empty, pal. The jamming ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. and we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime.
Oh, then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that?
Hey, Judge actually could be on our side on this. Yeah, maybe it wasn't in guard. Crime solved. Thank you, Judge. Beautiful, brilliant.
We thought of that too, but... The only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims. On the victims, huh?
I see. So much for my theory then.
Guitar case updated in the courtroom, in the court record. Guitar case empty. It's fucking empty. There's some water falling on top of the lid. Bears Corrida's fingerprints. Like water. There's well, that would be from the smashing of the pot, which means that the guitar case was closed when the flower vase was crashed down or was broken on it. If that's where the water comes from. Did nobody sniff the water?
However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case? The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night.
Well then, where was it?
The private guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Corrida, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir.
So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case?
Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar. So the guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel. Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all.
I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Engard? Because there was reason enough to suspect him.
Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing.
Very well. Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter.
Yes, sir.
I think it's very nice. It's very fitting to him. I expected maybe a bit more, how would I say, maybe royalty to it, but like, it's nice. It's very catchy. And I like the fact it's very recognizable. I guess that's the one they play in the Edgeworth games. Oh, so this is okay, it's the original usage of it. Got it. Why arrest Engard?
Engard and Juan Corrida were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's a Jammy Ninja's button. It was ripped off the ninja's costume and was found in Mr. Engard's hakama. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder.
Wait, bought the knife for the crime? Is it just a stick? I'm not gonna question that yet. I'll get to that.
So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing.
It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir.
Knife added to the court record. Bears the victim's blood. Another bear. Very fitting for the murder. And Engard's fingerprints. In the grape Gatewater is engraved.
And there's this button.
Was it found in the defense's clothes, was it? And is this button also covered in blood?
Yes, and we know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir. What?
Jammy Ninja's button added to the court record. Jammy Ninja's button was ripped from his costume. He's covered in Corrida's blood found in Engard's hakama.
All this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it?
Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, right?
I find the hole in your argument somehow.
You can press as hard as you'd like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions. Oh yeah, Phoenix is God. Yeah, like I think that's a typo. I think it was supposed to be brought, but it would be. So I very much doubt that it was bought for the intent of the murder, especially if it says Gatewater on it. Then again, we might get to that. Maybe it is a little. We'll see. Why arrest Engard?
Engard and Juan Corrida were huge rivals with each other. But in the terms of popularity, Mr. Engard won, did he not? Yeah, but you know what's ironic, pal? You and Corita was always one step behind Mr. Engard and everything. This year it seemed like you'd finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown. But Mr. Corita lost the Grand Prix in the end.
That's too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing.
They just had to show Edgeworth at the end there. Though I think that's probably something of him thinking.
They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book.
Slam desk.
Wait just 1 second here. Mr. Engard was beating Mr. Corita in the popularity polls. Well, yeah, I guess, but... Which means that in the defendant's side, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all.
I love how they had the same guy show up in... show up for the audience 12 times.
Well, yes, I quite agree. Well, detective?
It's not, well... I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive.
Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired. Damn, edgy boy. You've been ordering him around for the last 2 years or so. Actually, for all we know, possibly for like his entire career. You can't give him even a little bit of flack in court.
No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. That's...
I look forward to your pension negotiations. Jesus Christ.
No.
Now, detective. Let's continue with the testimony.
No, not my poor pension too.
Jesus Christ. Well, yeah, no more pension. Apparently there was something. Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed.
Yes, sir. We can talk about my pension later, sir. What about what I was saying? Hello? Anyone? As for evidence, there's a gem in Ninja's button. Do you have any proof that button belonged to the victim? Huh? What do you mean, pal? Oh, let me put it this way. I'm asking you if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off of Jammy Ninja's costume. Huh? But can't you tell by just looking at it?
A lot of things in this game's universe don't seem to just happen by straight up looking at it. Many things would be very obvious if people just looked at things, but...
Yeah, and the victim's blood is on it. Anyone could have smeared that blood on there afterwards. Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir. Alright, I knew we had to peel this piece of evidence. Now to reel this one in.
Nope, not gonna happen like that, right? Fred.
Huh?
The button was attached to the costume by Fred, obviously. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match up the ends of the thread of the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match.
Yeah, that's it. They're a perfect match, pal.
That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat.
It's ripped off the ninja costume that was found in Mr. Engard's Hakama. When was this button found? Pretty soon after the body was found, we rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Corita, and then we did a search on them all. That's when we found the button.
So it was almost immediately after the murder.
The police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people.
Hey, what is he trying to say about me here? The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder.
Oh shit, I was supposed to press this. I went into absolute, autopilot breathing mode.
How were the fingerprints arranged on the knife? Huh? What do you mean, pal? By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand?
Are we gonna finally do the fucking powder thingy on the fingerprints again? No, of course not.
Oh, is that what you meant? Well, we didn't actually think of that. I can't believe the bumbling of this department.
Hopeless, were you paying attention to the testimony, right? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There is no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder.
So is the defendant the owner of this knife then?
No.
Defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder.
Oh, so it is actually about ownership.
There's no way this was premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife. Sorry, pal, this isn't some pocket knife. It doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around with either. Well, this is not good. If the prosecution can prove it was premeditated murder, we're done for.
Phoenix,
Yes?
there's something very interesting about what the detective said just now. Think carefully before it's too late. Yeah, I think I know what I'm doing.
A button covered in the victim's blood and a knife edge and guard's fingerprints.
Be grateful. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing.
We're still in a world of trouble.
Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. So let's find the weakness in this testimony, no matter how small it may be. Okay, Phoenix? I can't quite find the right level that I would like to do Mia's voice with. Because I know where I started. I remember where I started with, but I just can't get it right anymore. Otherwise, it also goes too close to Maya's if I push it any higher than that. Okay, yeah, I know this, I know that, I know this. Wait, oh, there's a back button as well? Holy shit, that's advanced. Gatewater engraved.
Wait a second. What? So the base of your argument that this was a premeditated murder is simple that my client bought a knife beforehand? That's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife. Huh? Take a good look at the handle of this knife and you'll see what I'm talking about. Huh?
It has Gatewater seal set into the handle.
This is like the easiest fucking thing I have ever seen in this game. It's easier than the fucking intro or the tutorial case. I mean, this is only the first step out of presumably 20, but this is like, this was an easy one to figure out. I don't know anything about the balloons, so I'm dreadfully looking forward to that, I guess.
Gatewater? I think I've heard that name somewhere before. That's the name of the hotel, the Gatewater Hotel.
Uh-oh. Slams desk.
The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated.
Yes, that's very true. This is a very big.
Ha 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 ha.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless.
What?
I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined.
How so?
I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough to not realize this.
But I didn't.
Oh. Whimper. The question is, where did this knife come from?
Why, it's obvious it came from the victim, Mr. Corrida's room.
Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. He was just eating potato chips and drinking, tomato juice. I don't think that's a healthy diet. I mean, nothing wrong with either of them, but you need something more to it. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table. Oh no, he did have a meal there. Shit, just covered by the fucking text box.
There's a knife and fork on the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from?
If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Maengard. Especially what was on top of this table. There is something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife? We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Maengard's knife was missing. Mr. Engard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder.
Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction.
Not dedication. Or education either. It seems like Edgeworth had this plan from the very beginning. This must be one of those traps, Sergeant. I just walked headlong into it.
A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. There is quite a sizable amount of evidence here.
I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown? It means the evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence.
What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright?
Well, Phoenix, the judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here, that girl always might be bringing it out to the sound of our defeat.
Mr. Wright, do you have something important necessary to present to this court?
Well, let me just take a moment. What all would I want to show? I mean, Andrews. Technically. But I don't know what the game wants from me again. Okay. I wish I had the bandana. Like, I feel like we're really overlooking the fact that the guy was killed with the bandana, not with the fucking knife. Once again, yes, it would be just a little, scratch. Just a tiny little, you know, like... You could literally just put a little bit of band-aid on it and it would be fine. It wouldn't even kill you. Unless you stab multiple times, and even that would take a fucking while. Just percent? Okay, I'll just, you know what? Why was I, stuck thinking? Of course, I'll just go on percent. There's one. One piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has not yet to see.
Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance, and only one.
What Judge is saying, right, is you don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here. I'll do a save here because this seems like it's gonna be a this feels like it's gonna give me one shot and that's it. If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us. Yep.
You are now present one and only one piece of evidence. Now then, what is it? What is this important evidence that you must show to the court?
Alright. Let's recap the things that, went down. Shit, I don't know them either. Fuck! I don't know! Okay, so Huon Corina was murdered in his room. And Guard's getting accused for that. He had a meal with Andrews. Andrews was in cahoots. The court has not seen the magazine clipping. Court has not seen the magazine clipping. Or the radio transceiver. I could also just say like, oh yeah, Maya's been held, you know, captive, and if I don't, you know, get this case right, you know, she dies. I do think the magazine is pretty good though. We'll talk about gossip. They specifically want piece of evidence, which implies an item. It could be the suicide report as well, but we haven't gone to Celeste yet. Damn, you're right. I didn't even think about presenting my badge. I kind of want to do it just for the hell of it. But I also don't know if it's gonna immediately, you know, cause a failure on the case. It is such a fucking... Oh my god, nah. Not this time. I don't think Phoenix is in any position to even try to, you know, show a resemblance of dominance over anyone in this court. Especially not his long dead mentor in the body of a 9-year-old. You know, I'm not gonna go into that. Sorry, right? But this time, your bluffing steered you wrong. Seriously?
I see nothing strange about this piece of evidence.
Wait. Seriously? Damn.
How much version of the facts? Man in guard.
Okay, fine. We don't show the fucking... We don't talk about the fucking, you know, thing at all. Okay, got it. I see what I did wrong there. I didn't show Andrews. Honestly, Batch would have probably worked better. Batch would have actually worked better. Okay, then what are you guys after? Like, okay, it's probably not Magatama. Not the Nickel Samurai, that has done nothing. Press conference ticket, I don't think that's that either. We're gonna go to that. Well, yeah, that's what I figured. The magazine clipping has not been discussed yet. So I figured that that would be it. That is, unironically, the only thing in my inventory that is of any relevance to the... Oh my god. Yeah, it is technically backstory, but it's a segue. Oh god, the fucking court doesn't want to hear me fucking ramble about shit. Fine. Okay, 2 options now. It's either Wendy or Andrews. I'm saying Andrews. Nope. Not that one either. Got it. Got it. Oh, fine, not then. Oh my god. Is it the press conference ticket? It's not the press conference. At this point, I'm throwing things at the wall because I actually don't know what the game wants from me exactly. Like, they say that, you know... What is this important evidence that you must show to the court? What must I show the court? We discussed about the knife. We discussed about the button. Autopsy report was also discussed. It was given in this. Suicide report. These are, once again, these are segues. Crime photo. Radio transceiver. Tabloid. Gossip. Camera. Give her a case. This was already shown. This was discussed. So was this one. Wait, actually, was this one discussed, actually? I don't know if it was discussed. Mayhaps. It fucking is the... Are you kidding me? Because it wasn't touched, so... It implies it's something... It's a fucking fake. Okay, got it. Got it. We're gonna talk about the literal crime scene. Was it not discussed when they were looking at the crime scene? Like, I'm pretty sure it was mentioned. And especially during the what he had for, you know... No, wait, I was talking about that. No, but I thought that this was mentioned in trial, but I might have actually just been me thinking about it. Fuck. I drove myself into failure. Huh. Another reason I should never get a license.
This is a wine glass, is it not?
Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The scene is a mess because the victim struggled against his assailants. The vase was broken. His makeup is all over the floor.
I drove myself to failure. Is the line I used. And it's just anyways.
These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser.
Well, yes, I see your point.
However, this glass that is sitting on the top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over along with everything else is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration.
Alright, I can actually see this one. Where this game really wants you to take it slow. Like, it needs to be immediately relevant to the situation at hand. You cannot just take, you know, like, oh, we have not discussed about this individual who is related to this in this case. It is... I still need to learn the fact that this game moves incredibly slow in case of, you know, actual judgment and logic. Okay, yeah. We're taking this approach.
Huh? Well, what do you all have to say?
Oh, well, yes, it is a little peculiar.
Yes, isn't it? I thought it was.
You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Mr. Edgeworth.
The problem is that my mind doesn't work like... It takes leaps and bounds in, you know, logic. I don't think smart. I don't think slow. I barely think. I focus on the most crucial information, and in this case, it's Andrews being the most likely culprit. So, like, oh, what's the most essential information right now for the case? It's the fact that Andrews was in the room with you know, it's the fact that the most likely Andrews was in the room with Corrida at the time of murder. So, once again, I'm terrible at this game. I'm not smart enough for it. I'm a dumb piece of shit. But honestly, I'll take it. Like, it makes sense.
Mr. Edgeworth,
What is your honor?
your opinion.
You don't need my opinion, because there is no special meaning to that glass.
What?
It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking.
That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright.
I mean, this actually makes very little sense to begin with.
Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking?
No way. Nobody told her to do that.
If I appear weak here, the trial is over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct and point with certainty. They just might fall for it if you're thought-provoking enough. defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table.
You turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim?
There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing.
Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it.
What?
Taps forehead. You're not thinking hard enough today, right? Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice?
Then,
Of course it has been thoroughly inspected, for fingerprints.
fingerprints?
There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass.
Only one? Well, whose were there?
They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were of one Adrian Andrews.
What?
Wine glass updated in the court record. Wine glass found next to the victim is filled with tomato juice. Bears Andrews' fingerprints. Okay, alright, this is how we get to Andrews. Got it. We finally talk about the... Yeah, fair enough. Also, I generally keep forgetting that Andrews is the one that discovered the body. It's just that we've never gone through the actual, like... So she just... Yeah, she opened the door, stumbled upon the scene, and found the body. And then, for some reason, poured a glass of, tomato juice into a wine glass. A wine glass, specifically. Sure. That's why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright?
I can't believe I fell into another trap.
Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Corrida. Upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser.
What you just said makes a lot of sense.
Now do you see, Mr. Wright? Can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well. I thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor, and from here on out I will show you the answer I have come to discover.
Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict.
Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like to... The court... You were gonna pull this off anyways? Like the caller to hear from.
Another witness?
Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness.
What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking?
God damn it. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. I know how this is gonna start. Omniscient briefs into the into the mask. Witness, your name and occupation, please. He's been shot. Yeah, gotcha.
I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier.
Oh, Etchy boy, it's been a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me.
I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet, it was the wicked witch of the witness stand.
Jesus Christ! He didn't know!
I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today I'm going to tell you anything and everything. Even things I don't have to do with that terrible... I don't have to do with that terrible crime.
Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know.
Now the judge has been shot!
Yes, I'm talking to my dear Etchy Wedgie right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps.
Yes, man.
No, please, by all means, interrupt her, please. Anyways, witness, your testimony, please.
It's true what they say, that youths are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy.
Jesus Christ.
Now then, what should I start with?
The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag?
It was a great job being able to see my dear Yuan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean you were a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone is crazy over that in guard, seeing he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me, I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him.
How old is...
They're the same age, right? Yeah!
Okay, fine.
I'm only interested in a real man, Hugh and Corita.
21 years old. But those two were the same age.
Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night.
Very well, please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder.
Leave it to me, Yetchi Poo.
Okay, what you witnessed.
Anyway, after the testimony,
The ceremony, sorry.
I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye on the whole time. As when somebody showed up, it was a man coming out of the poor Huan's room. It was a guard, night guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Huan's room.
So Mr. Engard came out from the victim's room.
See, it has to be him. He's the murderer.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
What you witnessed, cross-examination.
Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around the hallway in front of this room.
Miss Altback, what was your pose on that night?
The lobby, I was supposed to help set out the stage for that trifling show. But I refused to help. I'll have you know, it was for that lead-headed samurai show. Heh, I even took out a few of the nails.
Did you intentionally endanger the fucking stage? With the intention of harming Engard?
Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on.
Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I would take a break and spread my wings a little.
I don't like you using that phrase.
And that's when you went to hang out around the victim's door?
That was something I was interested in finding out, you know?
Something you were interested in? And just what was that?
It's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know? It's top secret between me and Yuan. Ah, and Nechibu, of course.
You hear that, Edgeworth? She would be down for a triple, a thruple, with you and a dead corpse.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in?
I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor.
Gossip?
But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to her testimony later.
It looks like we should enforce it right now.
And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time?
Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time.
This is a really weird way of phrasing that.
Oh? And would you tell us number of people who went in and out of Mr. Corita's room?
I have no idea.
Fuck. The fuck.
I wasn't born so I couldn't count things for those who didn't pay attention in class.
Damn, you are right. It is personally my fault that I was not at the scene of the crime. Not Phoenix, me, myself. That I was not at the scene of the crime, looking at that door, counting people that went in and out. Honestly, she's completely right about that. I really should have known better.
That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am.
Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report.
In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct?
That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Yuan's room.
Okay, big question time.
Who in the world was that?
I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of the Yuan's room, he was.
Yes, it was.
Ah, I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud.
Oh, what I wouldn't give it to have Francisca whipped right
About now. I mean, she might die to it. But also valid.
Well, I guess I can tell you, since he was such a bad boy anyway. What is happening? It was Engard, Matt Engard. He was trying to sneak his way out of the Huan's room.
You saw my client? Are you sure about that?
Yes, say.
Yes, say? I've never heard that before.
Really?
Annoying brats. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person.
Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further.
Person's clothes. The biggest fucking question right now.
Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail.
What a troublesome man you are, really, as if something like that matters.
But it does.
Now that, what was it? Oh, yes, it was that thing.
That thing. The fucking thing. He was wearing a thing. She probably would have noticed if he wasn't wearing a thing.
What thing?
That gaudy thing he's always wearing, that racing jacket.
Racing jacket? Oh, okay, yeah.
He was wearing that at the detention center too.
That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men.
The fuck? I mean... Preach, girl, whatever.
Right.
So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way?
It was very important, yeah.
Of course it was important, Your Honor.
Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important.
Don't you see, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I requested that the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony.
I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright, witness please.
Ah, well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must. He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show.
Yeah, but wasn't... Oh, would you look at that?
Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket?
What do you think? It's not like I've seen him in anything other than that horrible thing. I'm sure he was wearing it.
She's about to shoot again.
She's so sure of herself that it's the point of self-absorption. She may not be remembering things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying. That's bad for us, really bad. But that's how the human mind is. It also has the tendency to jump off topic. She's strayed into a few interesting side topics this time too, hasn't she? And that's what makes her a sweet old lady, right? That's because you're not the one who has to question her.
Okay. Mommy's room, interesting to find out. So, this is the thing. He was wearing the racing jacket, but the button was found from the hakama. Now, I don't know much about what a hakama is, but there's no way for me to actually make that into a pun. But hakama instincts say that this is the right move here? Eh, good enough for try as any.
Miss Oldback.
What? Don't say my name for no reason.
Do you know what this is?
Ah! It's spotted number 2 on the Jabbing Ninja's costume.
She knew the number of the fucking button! How is that even delegated?
Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance.
Give it to here! Give it here! If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this.
Oh, now Wright's about to get shot. Damn.
Wow, she really is a die-hard fan to want a button covered in blood.
Oh, I mean, it's even better. It makes it better if it's got the if it got Corrida's blood on it.
This button was discovered on Mr. Engar's body during a full body search.
See? See?
Oh, Jesus Christ. My voice is dying.
this battle proves beyond a shadow of doubt it was that rascal Angar.
It was caught up in the blades of his nickel samurai hakama pants.
See? See? And Angar is a nickel samurai.
Witness? Now it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination.
Yeah, Phoenix has been hearing a lot about that one this game.
But just now, didn't you say that the defendant, that guard, was wearing his usual racing jacket?
Guns blazing.
I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear.
I'm currently judging you a lot by showing up in court with that costume on. But also whatever. How is that relevant to the fucking samurai show to begin with?
If I wore the trendiest clothes, but instead I have to put up with wearing this ridiculous. It's obvious it is, right? I've got the paper stuck on my chest. It's heavy, so heavy. I wish I could go switch to CD stage, but really alive for those kids out there. Understand now? Take a look in the mirror. Your girls have a documentary out in curling. You should take a tip or then. Oh my, this is fucking great.
I'll hold your tongue still for 1 second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Engard, the man. Or Mr. Engard, the nickel samurai?
What do you think about it?
Wait, so she saw the samurai outfit.
I really want the same anyway.
Miss Oldback, this is a very important point we're talking about.
Achibu, do you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth considering.
Just say it's important and I agree with it will change.
Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
Alright, if you insist.
I should be the one sighing, not you.
Who I saw. Not our testimony. God, this case is going through this so fast.
Engard. Yes, now I remember. The nickel samurai, that's right. It was the nickel samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to a post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know? So he must have worn the nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Yuan.
Damn.
I knew it. I knew he'd say he was inside that costume.
I mean, I actually knew that as well.
What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things.
But the possibility does exist.
Youngins today. I told you, there is no way that was anyone else.
It's not like we were literally in this fucking courtroom a year ago for the same fucking situation.
How do you know that?
Because I said so. And what I say is the truth.
At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago.
Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Alright, cross-examination time. Who I saw.
Jesus Christ. Engard, yes, now I remember.
Do you, though?
Would you please get on with your testimony?
What's your language, young man? What sort of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything. If you keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs.
What?
A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He's the nickel samurai.
She's actually singing? Someone help my poor ears.
Mr. Edgeworth, can you please do something about this record?
Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you will be good and stick to just the facts.
Okay. You promise, right?
Bribery. It works always. Right, I'll be sending the bill for the chewing gum to your office at a later date. It's literally gonna cost more to send that fucking paper than the gum itself.
Remind me to send you a thank you note later to Edgeworth, old chum.
Nickel samurai, that's right. It was the nickel samurai that I saw.
Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not?
Not too long ago? Now let me ask you this. When you were itty bitty, what was your grand dream?
Huh?
What did you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper?
Oh, we're going to personal things now?
My dream, huh? Well, I wanted to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public court, so what?
Phoenix wanted to be a judge?
See? And look where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you?
Well,
What I said earlier. Who puts any weight into things like that? Now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the past.
Jesus fucking Christ. You know, you're right. We should just forget all the mistakes of the past and just move on. Focus on what's important now. Engar's still alive and we should keep it that way. So is Maya and we should absolutely keep her that way. So what if we just drop this whole murder charges? Because like, Corey does in the past. He died in the past, he stays in the past. It's over. How about we all go out for some ice cream?
so when did Cor become theatrics over testimony?
All that matters is that man was inside that costume. Isn't that enough?
Judge Wagner pressed old back's claim that it was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. That was an achievement. Oh, Jesus Christ. All those peanuts were in the past. Gumshoe honestly should just forget about... Gumshoe should just forget about being hungry, honestly, at this point. It was... What was... is in the past. Though he most likely is hungry on the moment as well.
Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder.
And why would that be?
That way, no one could see his face, of course.
But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more.
You're such an annoying child, you know that? You disagree with everything I say.
Isn't that what you're always doing to me?
I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume. He had to go to the post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know?
Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show?
Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing.
And that includes the Gem and Ninja.
Of course they included him. That's why when Engar came out of dear Yuan's room, I didn't give it a second thought.
So you sabotaged the stage, knowing that Yuan was gonna be on it? And also, yes, ice cream is always a good idea. If one is feeling up for it.
I see.
Well, anyway. He must have worn the Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Yuan.
So let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it really was the Nickel Samurai.
As sure as ever. Haven't I been seeing that from the very beginning? Saying that from the very beginning.
Did I throw in the towel yet? Y'all need to think too hard on this one. Huh? There's a contradiction in her testimony and sitting in plain sight. The question is what that contradiction means for us. Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay.
Do we have anything that... Can I work with this? I don't think I can work with this much. How about... Okay. How about... I haven't used this one yet, so... Couple things that kind of are interesting about this. After the post-ceremony stage show, had to go on a post-ceremony stage show. Yeah, press conference. Ooh. Yeah, but is this enough for me to work with that? I don't know if that is. Come on. Stab with a knife. Well, actually, there is a contradiction here. Like, strangle with a scarf. Then again, do we? Because we don't have any evidence of the. Not quite sure exactly. Is it the fact that there's also a strangling part? I'm not sure what I'm after here, actually. So, she says that I don't think too hard on this, but like. He also had the press thingy. So this is either about the fact that, you know, she's saying that when he was stabbing. Because there's also a strangling thingy. I think it might be to do with the strangling, honestly. Or the fact that it was both a stabbing and a strangling. Why would he? Because we don't know if there was blood splatter on the suit itself. Fuck. So many things that could possibly be. I mean, it was a single stab. It was more than that going on.
Objection!
You want her? Ah, no. Nope. Nah, that doesn't get me anywhere. I think summer costume when he was stabbing for sure. Like, did I press all these already? I don't remember for some reason. Okay, if it's not the fact that... I mean, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter, the whole strangling thingy there. Maybe it's a press conference here, then. That he also had this thing to, you know...
Objection!
Sam's desk again. Nope, this is not either. I think I'm gonna fail this one. I just really confused as to, like, what's the thing that the game wants me to do here. Because it's not really giving me a whole lot of... Like, okay, what here Is there anything about these statements that rings untrue? In guard. Okay, I mean, that's not... It's a nickel samurai. Okay, so she claims she saw the nickel samurai. Would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. Would it have been? He had to go to the post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know? Must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbed before Huan. Would he have been that convenient for him to wear that though? Doesn't seem that convenient. I really don't know what the game wants from me here. I don't think it really would have been that convenient. I don't think it would have been convenient. Yeah, like it seems like this would be the thing that's like wrong, but like what part, if I present the costume, what's my statement on that? Is it the fact that it's gonna be like, oh, and it's a incredibly difficult... Yeah, like... Well, that's the thing, we don't know about this condition of the Hakama. We honestly don't know. We don't know a single thing. And, like, the... But, like, if it was... If there's... Okay, yeah, this was something I was thinking of at first. But I can't quite... Like... Would it be the button again? Objection! No, it's not the button again. No, it's not that one. Yeah, so it's not the button here. Why is this game happening? Objection! It's not the... It's not the fucking inconvenience a costume either. Nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing the poor Huan. Fuck, do I need to present the goddamn costume here? Objection! No. We're not gonna investigate the costume, okay, never mind. Once again, I'm just throwing things in at the wall because I don't know where the fuck I'm supposed to do here. It's not really, I wouldn't say it's convenient for him to wear it. Did I ever press this one? I did press that one. Out of his costume. More troubles with changing it out. It's not the press release either. Nothing wrong about this one. Nothing wrong about this one either. I do think that this is probably... Well, I mean, okay. You wouldn't necessarily want to wear the costume during the murder. You would want to put the... Yeah, like, the fact that he would be... Corridor's murder scene. Doesn't have the guitar. Not a lot of blood on that. Stepping poor Huan. Like the... blonde. Like, if it's not the fact that we're talking about the fact that it's a bloody... What if it's a knife, though? No, it's not the knife. It doesn't really do anything. Race card has fingerprints. And this is Gorita's fingerprints. Crime scene, gossip land, the killer, poster mistake show. Must have worn the nickel samurai costume. Yeah, like, I think this is definitely the thing that's wrong. Just like, what's so wrong about it? It's not the button. I kinda assumed that it would be the button. It wasn't the fact that he was stabbed instead of the strangled either. That apparently is not a problem. Tomato juice, that doesn't do anything. Corda's fingerprints, not important. Map, doesn't really do much. Magazine, Lotta, camera, no. Press conference. He had a press conference to go to, but that's probably... Would it be this then? Wait, what did I try already? I tried the button and then I tried the... Yeah, I tried those two. Maybe it is... Okay, costume or the... crime scene photo. What would make more sense? I don't think... Because, like, Huan was already dressing up. Maybe it's the... Maybe we're gonna talk about the costume. Must have worn the nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing Huan, and... That is not the contradiction. Seriously, that's not it. Like, we're not gonna question the whole fact that it would be a fucking hell to put on. Or that would be a terrible fucking idea for him to have that on. Like, this one seems like the most likely. It's not this one either. Is it the fucking thing then? Is it that thing? Is it the actual... Wait. Is the press conference here? No, like, No, they couldn't be there. That has no connection. There's no correlation on that. Okay, Water Hotel. I tried this. I tried that. I tried this. I've tried this one. These are the only things that are actually, like, tying up the costume. Wait, but wasn't he arrested in... He was arrested in his regular clothing, though. Objection! Nope, that's not either. Okay, never mind then, that's not... I'm really just trying... I feel like this is it. Post ceremony show. I'm waiting for him to wear that. No, it's not this one. Can it be this one? Cornet's murder scene. Because I have no idea. And I also... Like, I can't pick up on anything because I don't know what is what. I think it's convenient for him to wear this costume during the murder. His costume during the murder. It's between these two, but I can't figure out which one is the right one. None of these are like... All of them are as much of a stretch. The knife? Blood on the knife? Car's fingerprints. Though... It's the fucking fingerprints because the costume has the... I was hoping the costume itself... I was really hoping the costume itself would be enough because, oh, like he would be having gloves on so I wouldn't leave fingerprints. I should have just tried the fucking knife. I figured that one or the other would work, but apparently it needs to be the knife.
Let's take a look at this.
Yeah, it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work.
No, that's not my intention at all.
That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct?
Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case?
You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it.
Is that what you're driving at?
That is exactly what I'm driving at.
What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving?
If Mr. Engard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on his knife right off.
Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he?
Which is why I showed the fucking costume, because that wasn't... Okay, fine. He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing.
And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way he would do something like that.
However, there's one possibility.
Then let's hear your possibility.
It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off.
But the murder still did take place.
It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim.
Yes, I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory?
Let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory?
Yes, there actually are. There is a contradiction.
This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony.
Now, what are you babbling about?
Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Engard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent.
A knife again. Why would he take knife with him?
This knife, this was used by Engard.
They really want me to fucking swing this knife around, huh?
Yes, we did establish that.
Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Corrida.
I suppose.
However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from position 1. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingers shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us.
Order, I say. Order in the court. Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing?
To frame my guard.
It's to frame my client, Mr. Engard, of course.
The frame?
Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one?
Well, we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume.
It's funny because we could have been this far without having any intervention from, Edgeworth. So I honestly feel like, this would have, like, with the exception of calling the second witness, Edgeworth didn't exactly help us in court, which I don't know if his intention was from the get-go to do that even. He's just, he's playing both sides, I guess.
We just established the witness saw the Nickel Samurai costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife.
A witness?
Looks like I've made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Itchy Poo?
Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai?
Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but...
Are you saying you mixed up Mr. Engard with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV?
But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure.
Huh. She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then, who were you waiting around for then?
That's top secret to anyone outside of security.
I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Corrida. Am I correct, witness?
Haha! What do you think? You are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Amateur? Me? What am I, an amateur of?
So Oldback was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corrida. Maybe Phoenix. Maybe the Oldback was waiting around for that person. If it's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. Miss Oldback, you were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you?
Come out of the victim's room. There is literally only one person that could be.
Which this person?
This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Engar's manager.
But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room?
It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor.
Oh, this is, I see.
The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called as such a thing.
And this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's...
Adrian Andrews, without a doubt, the witness thought so as well.
Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff here, then.
Witness, what in the world are you...
Watch out, Phoenix. I got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling.
I got some information, some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation, in secret, of course.
What for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, will you proceed from here?
I really don't want to do this, however, I cannot simply let this point slide.
I see. Very well then. Witness, please testify about the secret information.
Get ready. This is gonna take the wind out of you youngins.
And start shooting. So anyways, I started blasting.
I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old.
Secret information.
That guard is one evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manners to get in close with Juan. I gotta condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret, you got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay?
The defendant sent his manager? What a distasteful topic for this court.
What? Nobody's up for gossip. And isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant?
I never heard that one before.
Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person?
We have looked into this matter and found that the truth that the article proposes is in fact baseless gossip.
But shouldn't this be true? Then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim.
This means I have to smash this room once and for all.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Be careful, the old bag seems rather excited right now.
That's right, Inkard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth.
Well, as the old saying goes, you've got to burn old bags with fire.
I don't think that's a real saying either.
Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone.
Now that is a reference, but damn, I did not expect Phoenix had ever heard of Fingal music. In any capacity. Except for the Steel Samurai theme. That's something he might actually recognize. Secret information.
Thank God it's one evil man.
You can't say something like that without proof. That's just slander.
But it's true. That woman was getting intimate with poor Juan.
She was?
Look, it says right here, doesn't it? Managed to the stars. Mrs. AA.
Well, the name of the magazine this came from is Gossipland.
What? Are you saying that gossip is all just a pack of lies?
Kinda.
What do you know? I suppose next you'll swear to me that the news is 100% truth.
Oh no. Oh no. I mean, this came out in like early 2000s.
Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip.
Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright.
Fucking. Next thing you know, Phoenix is gonna be arrested for a fucking hate crime.
Discriminate? When did I do something like that?
Anyways, Engard will never get to say touche. He's French, though. I could ruin Portuan by causing a huge scandal.
Scandal? What do you mean by that?
You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days?
No, I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Even I know that much.
Well, that Engard thought he could own a monopoly on popularity. Okay, so to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with you.
You don't have any proof that Mr. Engard did any such thing.
You must be suffering from a shock. The shock of hearing the truth. And now, since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything right.
You're right, I can't do anything, but boy, do I wish I could do something about you.
Alright then, Sonny, show me what you got. Can you show me proof that Engard didn't bear any ill will towards you on?
Oh, fuck. Fuck. I think I had something about this. I feel like I had something about this. Fuck. I feel I could swear there was something going on that. I can't remember. Can't remember. Fuck. Okay. Something about this. Somebody mentioned something about this. What was it? It was... I know there was something about this. I, for the life of me, can't remember, but I'm going to try, which is a terrible idea in court, but...
I'm not going to let you push me around that easily.
There's many a man who said that those exact words and paid dearly for them.
Well, maybe you should praise yourself this time. Here's my proof that Mr. Engard did not hold any ill will towards the victim.
It might be that I was supposed to press something. I was supposed to wait on this, press the other statements until, you know, I get something out of those. Because this says is on bad terms with Engard, but this says, you know, rivals with the Gemming Ninja. Damn, what was it? I know there was something. I don't remember who said it. I don't remember. It could have, honestly, it could have been any point in this game that somebody said that, like, oh yeah, they're fine. There's nothing going on between them. So there was a whole heated rivalry joke I made there. I can't remember it anymore. Fuck. I'm gonna try the press conference.
Is that it? You can't take it from here, Richie Poo.
What are you handing it over to me for?
So you can give that jagged-headed baboon boy a message for me, please? Tell him that no matter what he does, the only thing he's good at is failing.
What she said, right? Or should I say, baboon boy?
Yes, I agree. This isn't much of a piece of evidence, baboon boy.
Well, Finney's got a new name.
Did I just get a new nickname here?
You were lecturing me about saying things without proof. You're just giving me a free pass to say whatever I want whenever I want, silly boy.
Me and my big mouth.
That's the way the cookie crumbles for you, anyway.
Okay, I was supposed to wait on this a little bit, and I think...
On such a direct trick, so I took action.
So, what do you mean by I took action?
Like I already told you, I was lying in way close to the crime scene. Once a slimy woman came out of the Julian's room, I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson. Something you youngins need.
We're going to teach her a good lesson?
I was going to make her eat the damaging beams of my ray gun. Like this.
No, stop.
This is so fucking stupid. Well, it was too bad that woman didn't come through the door that night.
Okay.
Wait.
What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
Secret information that no one else knows yet. And that's true, then how do you know the secret information?
Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro, and that's it. It's a secret. And if you drill a hole in my brain, you'll never find out.
I think I know what this one is about.
How in the world did that old bag get such a secret piece of information?
I actually know how this happened.
So no one else is supposed to know the secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know him, Miss Oldback?
Why are you looking at me like that? Stop that!
Witness? I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire your secret info, isn't it? The investigative photographer, Lotta Hart.
Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl.
She brought that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself.
I don't think I want to lobotomize old bag. I feel like that bears a risk. Like, you know, you don't know how what, but you don't know what's in that brain of hers. Maybe something should be kept inside. Like drilling all the way there might unleash an eldritch horror.
She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself.
She reported such a thing?
On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her outrageous impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews.
What? Outrageous idea, you say?
No, I said impressions.
Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless?
Ah, that's it. That's the note.
No, you see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy.
Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note?
I'm a huge fan of Huon, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil Engard. She said so herself. Engard. I'm his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written.
She also stole her camera.
Etchy Poo, you believe me, don't you?
Ugh.
I was only trying to help out, like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before.
You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine.
That was a good one. I think I said it out as wine, but it was supposed to be wine.
Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just this once.
She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her?
No! Pile up more pressure!
If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness, you said that the only thing you stole was the note. Is this correct?
Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from this terrible, lonely trash can. That's all.
You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it.
Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again?
Miss Oldback, I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night.
Camera!
Miss Oldback, that note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it?
A camera?
Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, "My sweetie's $1,600 camera disappeared on me."
Why, witness?
What is it, Gramps?
If you have the note, then it's only logical that you have the camera too.
Grr. Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for?
That's...
What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know? I still eat meals like you, I fall in love and borrow things from people.
I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
I mean, who are you to say? It's not like you know law or anything.
I saw that woman's business card and that's what I noticed it said. Slime Bass Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of picture she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things.
Bailiff, check this camera's photos. Hurry. We must examine them at once. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have?
There's only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case.
Please present it to the court. This is the Nickel Samurai.
Okay, what can I pick out of this photo? No blood, first of all. So we now know what the costume looked like at the time of the murder. But those are a little... Oh, okay, got it.
See, I told you, that's the guy I saw.
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter.
This photo added to the court record.
What does this all mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photo by itself does not prove that the person is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Engard clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume.
If that's the case, then this Nickel Samurai is...
Taps forehead. The defendant.
How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright. The court will consider them before we close.
I do like that he's giving a lot of chances here.
Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client?
If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection there and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took. There's...
Nothing strange with it. Well, let's go with it. Nah, there's nothing strange with it.
There's something strange with this photo.
I knew this was coming, right?
Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we can all agree there is nothing strange with this photo. There is no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster.
Debunk with a bunker buster? Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright?
Yes, I'm gonna absolutely drop bombs.
Anyway, please look at the photo one more time.
If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct?
Well, I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Where in the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts?
Now then, let's hear your objection.
Maybe there's a reason she hasn't really succeeded as a photographer. Maybe she's really bad at taking photos.
What about this photo is strange?
Show me them feetsies.
I'd like to direct the court's attention to this one area right there.
What are you pointing to? His ankles?
If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't.
And what does that mean?
The costume person in this photo could not have been Mr. Engard.
What is the meaning of this?
I wonder if you would care to elaborate with actual facts, guys.
Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster.
I don't even get to show the fucking samurai. You kidding me?
Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama.
His socks. You can see his socks.
Exactly how we're in this photo. The Nickel Samurai is clearly holding Hisakama up just to walk. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. Huh? What is? Edgepop is unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack? Then I haven't damaged his case at all?
Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? The person in this photo is not Matt and guard. And everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless.
I mean, he didn't even know about the photo, so if he saw this one coming, this is a fucking 60 chess play by him, which would be insane.
I figured it would come to this. What? Right, I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside this costume is not man and god. In that case, who is this a photo of? Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume? Once I saw over this phoenix, it's very simple. Well, you should be focusing on his Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah, why is he so calm?
Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph?
Well, of course. It's simple. It's so very simple. It's actually Shuon Korida wearing that costume, going out to talk with his future manager. Unfortunately, he gets murdered while in that costume, and then the murder gets, Engar gets framed for that murder. No? Okay. Fine, it's Andrews.
Adrian Andrews?
If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is, it's none other than this woman. And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? For starters, she's short. And she can freely move in and out of Mr. Engard's room. If only she had dinner with Mr. Engard that night.
And how does that all add up?
It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Engard's fingerprints all over it.
A knife that was used as a murder weapon?
Why don't you just say what is that you want to say? Why don't you just say what it is you want, right? Jesus, what a fucking sentence.
I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. Defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Shuon Korida. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime.
Order! 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 It looks like this trial has made a most unexpected development, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony.
Alright, this is it. This is kind of bad for us. Huh? What do you mean? If Adrian Andrews is summoned to the court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. One more day? If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya.
Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do? Just about to adjourn the court.
So, on one hand, I could wait and see, and have Maya bust through that, door, or I could raise an objection and see where that goes, which I think is the smarter move here.
Well then.
Please, Your Honor, continue the trial. You must pass the verdict today.
I can't do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews' testimony if she's not.
Hold it. I apologize for wasting such valuable time.
Edgeworth?
Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial.
But we cannot continue due to this unexpected development.
Unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honor.
And what do you mean by that?
That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to So pointing Miss Adrian Andrews is all happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on. What?
What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She is the next witness. Everything was planned out in advance by that man. Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over. Exactly.
Very well.
Also, Edgeworth has not seen Mia Pearls yet. He's taking this all surprisingly well.
We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess.
To be continued. Yeah, no, I can do this in a single day. It's a single witness. How long then can that possibly take? Yeah, here we go. March 22nd, 2:14 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby, number 3.
Dude, I can't believe that Adrian. No way, not cool and collected Adrian Andrews. She's your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her. So after this ceremony during that break, huh? I was living like a log the entire time. She could have also easily planted that blood-covered button in your hakama. Because she was the one that came to wake me up. Then, dude, you're saying it really was her? Yes, she's the real killer. She was the one who murdered Ju and Garita. But why? I thought she was buds with Juan. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today. Give me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude, bro?
Phoenix, I think her motive is related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right?
Yes. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impacts as her strength and reason to live.
Oh, God.
But then Miss Impact suddenly killed herself. It sounds like she left a suicide note that the person thought to have hidden it.
Is Juan Garita the victim of this murder?
And that's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to Miss Garita. All to get his suicide note back.
That sounds plausible. But one thing bothers me.
I don't think I need to comment on that. I'm confident. And I think I can do it. I can do it. How bad can it be?
And what?
Who was it that first told us about their relationship? Better say that Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Miss Impacts?
It was Edgeworth.
It looks like he's still the one in command of the ship. Don't let your guard down yet.
March 22nd, 2:25 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3.
Court will now reconvene. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please.
The prosecution calls a witness appointed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Corrida's room. I mean, I guess it would be kind of weird. If you don't have the, or like, if you don't even call the person who found the body to witness during the trial. So I guess it makes perfect sense that she would be prepped for this as well. What is your occupation?
I am the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt Engard.
I see, now then.
Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request.
Oh, yes, sure. What is it?
I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing. and would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently.
Oh no, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossip Land.
If Judge was ever a prosecution witness, he would do all my work for me.
Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation to the victim.
Yes, I was seeing Mr. Corrida. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Huan. But this was a private matter between Huan and myself.
So it was a fry and bait matter, or was it a bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing. This one time, my wife and I...
But I didn't kill him.
No one is accusing you of that.
I think there's someone who would beg to differ.
I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews.
Very well then. Witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. She's got that card in her hand for a reason, but I'm still trying to figure out why. When I found the body.
It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Chuan's room, and there was his dead body. I was in shock. What I saw was, naturally, the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice.
You poured yourself a glass of juice?
Yes, sadly I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of a crime, and I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing.
And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Phoenix, she is one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match.
Yes, I know.
In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing.
Disrupt her pacing?
She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking. So you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you lay up on your offense is the instant this trial is over. Understand?
Okay, Jesus Christ. When I found the body.
It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room.
And what was Mr. Engard doing at the time?
He was taking a nap. He was worn out by his mini performance as the Nickel Samurai during the ceremony.
Mr. Engard did say he was taking a nap.
I guess you could say it could not have been taken out of his he could not have been taken out of his room, yes? Excuse me? What are you?
Right, I thought years of school would have taught you how to construct a sentence. If you can't make a sensible sentence with a subject, then I'll make it one for you. Watch. Did you, Miss Andrews, remove Mr. Engard's knife from his room?
No.
Subject, verb, object, right? Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue. Jesus fucking Christ. Harsh words from the person that went to school with Phoenix. On the same class, specifically.
And I went to Huan's room.
And why did you do that?
As a friendly gesture, Huan wants to make an appearance with the other heroes.
The show was supposed to be a show of friendship, huh?
Press it further.
Is that the only reason?
I beg your pardon? What are you implying?
You had a certain goal in mind when you started to get close to him, correct? Surprised you had more personal matter to discuss with the victim?
Sorry, but I didn't have any such intentions in mind at that time.
I can't get her to talk without a strong piece of evidence, I guess.
May we continue now, witness? What did you see when you got to his room?
And there was his dead body. I was in shock.
You were in shock?
What? Was I not supposed to be?
Miss Andrews is a very calculating person, and despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Corrida.
Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock, and you can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked. Are you trying to make Phoenix jealous with that statement, Edgeworth?
Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not.
I see.
What I saw was, naturally, the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo.
It's the photo you were referring to, correct?
Yes, the one with the knife lodged in his chest.
And the guitar case was like this too?
Yes, it was open and empty, of course.
And then, what did you do next, witness?
I felt as though I was about to faint, and so I poured myself a glass of juice.
Juice?
Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself.
But you didn't drink any of it, did you?
Huh?
There were no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it.
I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it.
Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Hugh and Corrida, you were in great shock. And that's when you poured yourself a glass of juice, correct?
And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at the time.
Your mind was a complete blank? I didn't think that was possible for you.
Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing.
What one thing?
Never mind. It's no big deal.
What was she starting to say just now?
Press further! Slam desk! Harder!
Miss Andrews, I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was.
Actually, so would I. I'm sorry, it's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over.
Flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? This mess of glass shards?
It was originally on top of the dresser, but when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell on the guitar case.
Why did you withhold such an important piece of information?
I'm sorry. I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess.
That is such a weird fucking thing to do.
Looks like another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have revealed to your testimony.
I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else.
That's not true, actually. Hey, was that the last one?
I was the one who knocked the flower vase over where it fell on the guitar case.
What kind of flower vase was it?
It was a glass vase, and it was fairly big and heavy. I thought I would try to take Juan's pulse.
I would try to take... never mind.
So I set the glass I was holding down on the dresser, and that's when my elbow accidentally hit the vase.
That's odd. I thought she was always in total control of herself.
That's what she would like people to think. Always be mindful of the gap between your perception and reality.
Doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradiction in her testimony just now.
I warned you earlier that she would not crack so easily. The only way to make her is to
keep on the offense and not let up.
The only way you're going to catch her is with one very strong, decisive evidence.
I have to find something. I just have to. For Maya's sake.
I think I know what I'm doing here. Which is big difference from the last one. Okay, so I have a guitar case here. Objection! There we go.
You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct?
Yes.
And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case?
Is there some problem with what I said?
It's not some problem. It's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell on the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside.
That's very true.
Furthermore, there's one other strange thing about this guitar case.
And what is that?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. And what is wrong with that?
And what is wrong with that?
If the guitar case was opened when the vase fell, the glass shard should be inside, not outside the vase.
What is your point, right? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over? Is that all?
No, think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else.
Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case.
But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on this case at all.
That may very well be. However, the empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case, doesn't it?
It seems that there is no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar?
I do think we need to hear more about it, because why did she open it? Why did she go through the effort of opening it?
The empty guitar case.
Slam's desk.
I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle.
I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you.
I can't believe I'm doing this either.
Alright, I'll follow along, for now. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case.
Yes, Your Honor.
The guitar case.
I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? And the case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know.
Good God.
It looks like this really wasn't very important.
This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting.
Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start my cross-examination.
Using any way to change the topic, a convenient escape for a weak man.
Damn. I mean, okay. Phoenix is definitely the bottom in this case. And the beta as well. If we want to go with that.
I remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed.
During your testimony just now, did you remember those events clearly in your mind?
Well, you see...
Are you sure you are the one who opened the guitar case?
She's waiting for someone to tell her if she should answer or not.
How can her dependent side is taking over?
Well, Miss Andrews?
Yes, it was me.
Can we ask for the goddamn card?
I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over.
So, you opened the guitar case then?
Yes, well, maybe.
Why did you open the guitar case?
Huh?
Mr. Corredo's dead body was right there in front of you, wasn't it? I would think that the first thing you would do is call for help, not open the guitar case.
As the witness has said multiple times, when she found the dead body, she was dazed. Maybe I was curious to know if the bright red guitar was alright or not. I thought maybe the criminal took it.
Why would she care about the bright red guitar?
Getting back on topic. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all.
Was it really empty?
Huh?
I was just wondering if maybe when you opened the case, the guitar was still inside.
How long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? Have a little professionalism. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. The trials would be over in half the time if you would just pay attention.
Just pay more attention, Mr. Wright.
Sorry.
I mean, that's kind of true. If I was paying attention, this would already be done.
That's why I opened the case? Even I don't know.
Was that because you were shocked and dazed at discovering the victim's body?
Yes, that's probably it.
I'm not going to get anywhere if I continue pressing her like this. The only way to make her talk is with evidence. I guess I should give it a try.
Come on, Phoenix. We can't afford to light up on her now.
I wasn't planning on letting up, but
she's at her weakest now, so this is our chance.
Yeah, if we had a weapon to hit her with.
I'm sure a weapon is hiding somewhere in the court record, waiting to be found.
Fuck. Do I have anything that would actually... There are only Corrida's fingerprints on it, actually. That's true. Oh shit! Wait, that's a contradiction! Oh my god! I found one!
There's no way... you were the one who opened the guitar case.
Why would you say that?
It's elementary, my dear.
Alright, Phoenix, you got one thing right in a fucking mass disaster of a trial. You better not start acting like goddamn Sherlock Holmes of all people. The only thing going for that is the will they, won't they, like, gay baiting, but not the time for that right now.
Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim.
What is it, Miss Andrews?
You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case.
What do you mean?
What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time?
Gloves? But why would you be wearing gloves at the time?
It was the night of the award ceremony, so of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember, I'm sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the time scene of the crime.
Nothing strange about that. That is strange.
You were wearing gloves? Isn't that a little strange?
Why is that strange?
Oh yeah, because Phoenix is an absolute, you know, like a fashion mogul who knows all about the latest trends and what people should be wearing and when, and he's absolutely in position to tell women what to do. Thankfully, I have something to base this on, actually.
You have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time?
I have your proof right here. This wine glass.
The wine glass?
You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange? That you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case?
She broke her pair of glasses and pulls out a backup one? She is really prepared for this, huh? Oh my god. How many does she have there? It's like there's that fantastic gif of the CSI Miami of what's his name, Horatio, just like putting glasses on sunglasses, or like taking off sunglasses and having another pair of sunglasses underneath there. And it means an edited image, and there's an actual unedited version of that in a different context, but that's, yeah, this it's kind of fucking funny.
Order! Order! Order!
Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time.
Huh? What do you mean?
I believe the guitar case plays a very important role here.
But just an empty case.
I wonder if it really was empty though.
But the private guitar was at the studio.
Phoenix, drop all of your presumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the private...
Oh, that's why he carries that with him all the time.
You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? Wait, that's not right either.
I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. The witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that on the case...
Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us all into his misguided... A fucking bear there as well? How many bears did that guy have? Must be really popular at the club.
No, Your Honor. Please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell on the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it is wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I am sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder.
If you are so sure, right? Then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Please enlighten us as to why the guitar case has anything to do at all with this murder.
I do that, Mr. Wright.
Well, let's suppose for a second the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case.
A bright red guitar not being the only thing? You don't mean to suggest that the bright black guitar was...
So, you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty, is that it, right?
I want to say something I didn't intend to prove.
You know, honestly, like, I'm quite confident that the only thing Edgeworth is doing here is just, you know, like, he's trying to push us to, you know, find the truth about this whole, you know, matter. To find the suicide note and like that. Because that's the thing that would have been at the bottom of the guitar case. I have no clue how I'm supposed to prove it though. But we'll get to that when we get to that. We burn that bridge when we get there. But the fact that Edgeworth has been so absolutely brutal and so very mean towards Phoenix is absolutely intentional. He does that just for fun. It's his sick game that he plays, where he belittles Phoenix, and Phoenix most likely is into that.
This is something I wouldn't intend to prove.
Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside this case at the time of the murder? So I am quite sure it's a suicide note. The question is that, like, is this enough to prove it? Or is this something else? Because I don't think of anything else. Like, if, like, supposedly, that note is the most precious and most valuable object in Corrida's possession. So I'm just saying that there's only one reason he would be carrying the guitar case with him everywhere he goes, but for getting the guitar. For a big event like this especially. So the thing is, it would have a note in it.
And why would something like this be inside a guitar case, let alone this one?
Why, Mr. Wright, why?
Well, just thought
Oh, it's not the right thing. I have a suggestion. Why don't you put that in the void where your brains is supposed to be?
Yes, and never bring it out again.
Never mind then.
Can't a foolishly fool... Can't a foolishly foolish fool get some love?
Do you still think you can prove that your theory? Can you prove that the guitar case was not empty at the time of the murder?
I want to say something I didn't intend to prove.
Deflate the head of yours. Alright, this might take a while actually. That was my best lead on that. The fact that, you know, that was not it is not giving me a lot of confidence. Is it something else then? Not the camera at least, that we know. Not the photo, not the Makatama either. Press conference tickets. No, seems unlikely. Probably not a radio transceiver either. No, a magazine clipping, probably not a guide map. I mean, it could be a guide map for all I know. There's another guitar case inside it, much smaller, one for ukulele. The wine glass, crime photo, probably not. The button, not that one either. Probably not the autopsy report, not the knife either. Wouldn't be the photo. In that case, I don't have... Could be a person? I don't think any very small... Pearls would fit there. I don't think Will Powers was there. Fuck. Actually, then what the fuck was there? Out of all these options, what actually could it be? Like, if it wasn't the suicide note, I thought that's what this was referring to. This is confusing again. Okay. Gossip Land, probably not that either. Though, what about radio transceiver? It could be, because doesn't she have one of those? To stay... Stay in touch with a guard. Okay, so I have three options here now. It's either a radio transceiver, which seems unlikely, but not the first time the game would do something like that. Second option is a press conference ticket that it would be something about the press conference. I don't know. The ticket seems a bit unlikely. And then it would be, well, I find it unlikely that it would be the dead corpse of Celeste in packs after 2 years. And same goes for... Because we know, okay, so because we know where the... Probably wouldn't be, the poster would do absolutely fucking nothing. Unless, no, it's not the outfit either. We know that Wendy had the camera. Article came from, I don't remember who even at this point. Guide map doesn't matter. Guitar case is what we're talking about. Not the wine glass either. Probably didn't have an access to a crime photo then. The button... That would have been ripped from the, yeah, so not that one. Suicide report was not the thing. It wasn't the suicide note. I don't think it would be... Either. Would not be autopsy report. This was written only days after the murder. Wouldn't be the knife, because that was taken from the, room. And the picture is once again taken right after the murder. Which means it does kind of narrow these options down to like only a couple things. It's one of these two. Like I could see there being a radio transceiver in that case. That would have somehow linked. Like if Andrews and Corrida were, you know, talking with each other, they might have been like they might have had some kind of a tool to communicate. But then also the press conference ticket. Honestly, the badge is a really fucking good suggestion. Once again, is a very tempting option. But I'm gonna try the transceiver. Because I don't know why it would be the... I don't know why it would be the press conference ticket. Okay, no, not this one either. Well, I took a gamble that did not work out. Okay, we'll try the press ticket then. Not this either. Seriously. What the hell is there then? Raise the mysterious line. None of the other things have anything to do with the crime scene to begin with. Literally nothing. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I mean, it's a big case, but ain't no way. Like, it's not that big of a case. It's a guitar. I have a guitar right next to me. Even I couldn't fit in the same space, but okay, it's actually a really close call. If that had a case, I could probably almost try to fit myself in it. Like, I thought they would be the suicide note, but if this one is not good enough for it, then I don't know. Corrida's murder scene. From his costume. I don't think it's a knife again. Lola's picture, no again. And the most important thing is absolutely the attorney badge. But that's once again not it. Not here, probably. Glossy photo, not that one. Like, it's not this one, it's not that one. I mean, camera, no. Article, probably not either. Not this one. I don't think it's any of the items. The glass would not make any sense. Crime photo. I'm seeing nothing there. So... bandana. Well, I mean... once again, I wouldn't completely disclose the possibility of there being a smaller case inside the case with an ukulele in it. But like, damn, it's okay. Like, honestly, I don't have a lot of other options here. I unironically think it needs something to do with Celeste. It's not Celeste. Are you kidding me? It's not actually not. It's not the suicide note that would be in there. Okay, fine. At this point, I'm not gonna start. Okay. What am I missing? What am I missing? What would be so important that would be in the case? I thought the camera was stolen by Wendy. So could it be that? The button? The knife? Time of the murder. The knife kinda stands out. It's a knife. Damn, it's not the knife. Yeah, I honestly, I do recommend that Phoenix shoves that knife into his brain. Or the void in his brain, where his brain should be. Why would it be the magazine? I honestly thought the suicide note was the best thing I could possibly, you know, a report of the suicide. No, not this one either. It makes no fucking sense! What is the fucking... Like, I have tried everything that has anything to do with the case. Tried this one, tried that one. The fucking Nickel Samurai was in there. No fucking way. This fucking game again with this nonsense. Are you kidding me?
This is a photograph.
Look at this photograph. Every time I see it, it makes me fucking scream my lungs out. Yes, but what is important is what is in this picture, Your Honor. Are you telling me the Nickel Samurai outfit was in that fucking costume?
In this picture?
It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean.
When I propose... Okay, Phoenix, how many fucking bounds are you leaping with this?
Inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume.
Oh, okay. Alright, message received. Once again, I understand just how terribly incompetent I am at playing this game, but like, are you fucking kidding me? Okay, this is so I was under. Okay, no, okay, it does track. It does track actually. She would not show up. No, but it would make sense for her to show up in the room with the Nickel Samurai outfit, so that she would not be to kind of like. I thought she was wearing it the whole time. I thought the suit stays on because she wouldn't want to be seen entering Corrida's room. But even how does that arm even fit in that fucking case? What? Jesus fucking Christ.
Mr. Wright, explain yourself.
Right, are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case and to take out a costume? What insane point would there be to doing something like that?
That insane point would be to the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on that to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews?
Eh. Then again, this makes sense if she is not the murderer. This only makes sense if she's not the murderer. I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea?
Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get this shot correct.
You mean this photo? Order! It looks like we're wandering into quite another mess again, haven't we?
Nice job, Phoenix.
Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later.
So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume.
Wait a second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matt Engard's. Why would something of the defendants be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case of all, but well, you see, Maya's life is at risk, so he has to talk like all the time, non-stop. And I don't think Phoenix does a lot of thinking. So, you know, he would never get to speak. His job kind of depends on him talking.
True. That is a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What was this Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case?
Can't be stolen. I don't know. I'm guessing it's stolen.
I think it may have been stolen from Miss Engard.
Stolen? Why would someone do such a thing?
Maybe the thief wanted to interfere with the post-ceremony stage show. And so, if he didn't have his costume, Miss Engard would be forced to go naked.
Okay, I was gonna see where that was going to some degree. Maybe you should be stripped naked and run out for making a mockery of this court. You would like that, wouldn't you, Edgeworth? You sick freak.
Excuse me?
Mr. Matt Engard did not take his costume off after the award ceremony. He testified that he took a nap while still wearing... Ah, true, sorry, I forgot. I thought that those sharp shoulder pads are for the, are for, you know, for the fucking riding jacket. But yeah, no, I should have paid more attention to this picture. Is this not correct?
Ah yes, he did say something like that, didn't he?
Huh, that's what I thought. Let's try that one more time, shall we, Mr. Wright? Mr. Wright, the court would like you to hear your thoughts. What was this Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case?
A spare costume. Still stolen, in my opinion.
Engard did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we are talking about was a spare one.
What?
Then, are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel?
Yes, that is what I'm saying.
What I'm saying? Jesus Christ. I'm not saying anything anymore at this point.
And how will you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case?
It would mean the victim himself had brought the spare to the ceremony on purpose. Oh, because he was gonna be the one... Oh. He was gonna be the one doing the reveal. So... This mean that Korita is actually the steel... No, not Steel Samurai. Nickel Samurai. Whenever it's not actually on film, or like when it's like a press conference or like that. I mean, no, having a spare makes perfect sense, but I would still like to claim that it was stolen. Well, actually, maybe not. Unless he actually, like, if he's supposed to be working as the Nickel Samurai on like public, you know, performance things, because Engard did say that he doesn't know anything about anything, and he's always just listening to his manager. So, yeah.
Why? The victim, Mr. Korita, was the Jammy Ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai spare costume with him? What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act?
And therein lies the sticking point.
What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue? Huh? No, I just... Honestly, Phoenix seems to say a lot of things out loud, like all the time, non-stop, that he should really keep to himself.
Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume?
Phoenix, are you sure you're gonna explain this one? Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with gusto. I believe in you. Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was...
It's the press conference. I know this for a fact.
Why is this?
On the night of the murder, after the stage show, Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference.
I did not know that for a fact. I took a blind shot at the dark and was like, if I fail at this point, I don't mind going back a little bit and getting a little bit of more spare tries in some of my later attempts in this.
The Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference.
A press conference?
Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference.
I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right?
But what struck me as strange was that Mr. Engard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night.
Well, how can that be?
The way I see it, that can only mean one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Huan Korida himself.
The victim?
Yes. The spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for the very conference. Mr. Korida was going to hold the press conference as the Nickel Samurai.
He was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference? But why would the victim do such a thing?
That's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference.
The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I would wager he was going to reveal something about himself.
Which means that Huan Korida, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak out about Matt and Guard.
Yes, I guess that is what it would mean.
But if that's the case, that's not a confession, that's public disclosure.
Miss Andrews?
I can see why you are pros at what you do.
Pardon me?
Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan.
Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this.
As the one who asked to help set it up, I was the one and the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me.
You?
Huan had everything on the Jamming Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him.
Holy fuck!
That's what he thought anyway.
I thought they were completely fine. What the fuck was Korida's problem? Like, Engard is barely able to, you know, think for himself. Actually, he's incapable of thinking for himself. He barely knows to sit down in a chair without somebody telling him. Actually, I'm not gonna go there because I'm gonna offend myself soon. But, like... what the fuck?
He was going to ruin him, huh?
It looked like somehow Juan had his hands on a secret so powerful they would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed.
What?
And do you know what the secret of Mr. Engars is, Miss Andrews?
Fuck, I just realized. Yeah, no, I definitely should not have tried the suicide note thing. Actually. Because I remember promising not to bring that out in public. Because Andrews thought it was most likely, you know... well... lose the rest of her mental fortitude. So that was kind of rude of me. Then again, I wasn't talking about that one. Yet. I was gonna get to it.
You know what the secret of Miss Engars is, Miss Andrews?
That's something only Huan knew. I don't know what it is.
Oh, I see.
I probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone, but that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all. Protect Mr. Engard?
And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Miss Andrews, if you could please tell us the truth about your behavior.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand. Protecting Matt. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Huan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife, by Matt's manager, so I felt I had to protect him.
This does account for everything.
Well, I am the logical type. I've finally seen her true self. She's more nervous than a scared rabbit.
If the defense can find no fault in this testimony, I am ready to make a ruling. Please keep that in mind as you cross-examine Mr. Wright.
Looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale again. That just means I have to put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down.
Okay. Protecting Matt. Matalicious. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer.
Let me save here so I don't need to play through. I know I'm at like I have one trial, one attempt, but that's all I need. Well, I'll just restart if it goes wrong.
Okay, let's see. Would you say that was your intuition speaking to you?
Don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own. If you want to prove that someone did something, you need three things.
3 things?
A motive, an opportunity to commit the crime, and finally, decisive evidence. And if you think these 3 things through, the answer becomes quite clear. You should have already known that, Phoenix.
They didn't teach that to us in school, at least not from what I remember.
I'm pretty sure Mia probably said that multiple times in the first game alone.
May I continue now? Matt had to kill Yuan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi. Oh shit. I was supposed to press this one. Not press forward.
So, would you say this need came from the press conference?
Yes. Do you know why Yuan chose that event, that hotel for the conference? Because that was when he could cause the most damage to the public's beloved Matt and guard.
And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Miss Andrews?
Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume.
But I'm sure Mr. Engard himself didn't know anything about the press conference.
Oh really? Can you show me any proof that he didn't know about the press conference?
Anyway, the important thing here is that this information was not in your testimony.
Yes, I agree. Miss Andrews, please correct your testimony if you please.
Gasping at straws now, are we, Mr. Wright? I know what his motive was, but I don't have any way to prove I'm right. He didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder.
I could press that again, but I think I'll leave that for last. I'll see where the rest of these go.
Yeah, an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder.
But didn't you already testify earlier that Miss Engard was taking a nap in his room? Are you telling me now that, too, was a lie so you could cover Mr. Engard?
I'm not telling you anything of the sort. When I went to get him for the show, he honestly was sleeping. However, as to whether he was sleeping the entire time, that I cannot say. I was too busy setting up the stage at the time.
I keep trying, but I can find no flaws with what Miss Andrews has said. I can't say the same for some people here in this courtroom, however.
Josh is glaring straight at Mia.
He's glaring at you, smart guy. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife.
You can hardly tell the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage.
Then, what about the button?
The button?
It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and his murderer fought. And during that fight, the killer ripped the button from the Jammin' Ninja's costume.
We're talking about this button, correct?
That button was found in the pleats of Mas Hakama, isn't that correct? I think that makes it very decisive evidence.
Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright.
Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony.
I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat.
My goodness, Mia can still look at me.
But the knife is there, yes.
Damn.
Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this information to your testimony.
But I was torn off of Yuan during his fight with Matt.
Wait,
And how do you know that?
And the ends of the threads at the bottom of the costume were mashed up. They were found to fit together perfectly, or so I heard.
I heard that before too. Why would Miss Andrews know about this case down to such a fine detail?
Don't look at me like that. Just because I'm prepared and you are not.
And I thought I had her this time for sure. If there's anything to trip her up on, it has to be here. But where and what?
I'm mass manager, so I felt that I had to protect her.
But what you really did was stab the guy in the back, didn't you? And at the worst possible time.
Who's to say she really stabbed the guy in the back, as you put it?
This witness could have discussed things about Mr. Engar at any time. Why then would she wait until there was a large audience before doing so? The same reason why Mr. Wright planned such an elaborate conference. Miss Andrews wanted to cause Mr. Engar as much damage as she possibly could. This witness bears ill will towards the defendant.
This isn't the Phoenix Wright Vax Philosophical Power Hour. And please stop slandering the witness.
As I expected, Miss Andrews' testimony seems pretty solid.
Really? Because to me, it sounded like a little wishy-washy.
Wishy-washy? Well, I guess I'll see if I press a little more.
You should know that by now. But you'll need strong, decisive evidence to make her talk.
Got it, Chief. Gotta pin you down this time, Miss Andrews.
Don't phrase it like that.
Okay, I'm going to do another save here because I don't want to press all these. If I fail, I don't want to do the pressing it again. Because I'm pretty sure that this is gonna prompt me to show evidence that I'm not sure if I know exactly.
Has Mr. Engar done something to hurt or betray you personally?
Why do you ask?
You were the one who helped Mr. Corrida with his press conference. That event was supposed to bring down Mr. Engar, yet you still helped out.
A person on the trial right now is Mr. Engard, right? What the witness was thinking, helping the victim with his plan, is none of our concern. In any case, this means that the defendant had a motive to kill. I tried out a bunch of things. I've been literally just throwing things at a wall. And especially that one point was really punishing.
Why are you doing this to myself?
Okay. What is it then? Maybe I press this one again? It didn't prompt me an option?
Say this intuition speaking.
Yeah. No, there was nothing there. Not that one either. So I think this is the thing that yeah, like this statement is a little weird. Let's see. The button has blood on it. Which means that he was already stabbed when it was torn off. So that's where this goes wrong.
Your Honor, that statement contradicts.
Huh? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, fine, that's not it. I thought I had that for sure.
Like the fact that it has blood on it, and she claims that it was torn during the fight. Is it then the... Nope, it's not that one either. Really? Like, the button should not have blood on it if it's... If it was torn... If it was ripped during the fight. Unless you're telling me that first he was stabbed and then they fought and he was still staying in the chair. Well, it was... Why to prove... So... Seriously, that's nothing. Actually, it's nothing that, like... Do I know anything about, like... Like, Engard doesn't seem to even acknowledge much of things that go outside of himself. Unfortunately, we cannot pin this all on Maya. Then again, if we would pin this on Maya, it would, you know, mean that there would be a court order and they would actually send an investigation for her. Unfortunately, that might get her killed. Okay. I can't believe that this was not. I thought I was onto something there. Yeah, I'm a lot about the time of the murder. The crime scene, I feel like Matt was the murderer. And this one had absolutely nothing to do with it. Wait, actually... Reliable sources, though. Oh! Can I... Would this work? Objection! No, are you kidding me? We can't even like talk about the fucking rumors. No. Okay, this throws so many fucking like what the fuck. Okay, so from the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. I don't think, like... I don't know if there's anything that I can, like... Anything here that will prove this one wrong. Glossy photo... Maya's kidnapper... Camera... Tabloid gossip land... The map. Covered in Carter's blood. Time of death 8:15 p.m. Strangled with a knife. Strangled with a scarf and stabbed with a knife. Gatewater is engraved. Picture and taken in the hallway. Or the murder. Celestine Pax is suicide. We're not gonna bring this up, apparently, because we want to respect her right to live until she gets, you know, found guilty of murder. Doing at the time of the murder. I was so sure the button was the thing here. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. That it has blood on it and it would, like... Is that not the thing? Damn. Anything here that would, like... So what did she say again? wishy-washy. I'm gonna pinning her down. Okay, so wishy-washy. I mean, this is, of course... What did she say in this one again? Yeah, this is the betrayal one. But there's no... It doesn't give me the prompt. This is the sleeping thing again. No, I tried the... No, I didn't start the autopsy report, actually. So... Maybe that's the thing. Maybe I tried everything else except... It was this one. Okay. I tried everything else that was hinting at the fucking way he died, and the timing of the death, and the way that the fucking body was left. But I didn't try the fucking autopsy report. Okay. I thought the crime scene photo was good enough. Oh, the button. Holy shit.
It's the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf.
Strangulation?
A knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died.
And what does that mean?
Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off of the costume, right? When?
God. Like, Come on! I literally had it! I think that was the first thing I tried! But I tried the wrong item. Got it. After the knife was stabbed into the victim.
Exactly, which means... It's impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle.
Okay, fine.
Because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There's no way this button was ripped off during the struggle.
Again! Holy shit. How can one trial have this many fucking... Maybe, maybe not cases. Well, I mean, it's a trial room full of nut cases, so no wonder.
This button was consciously pulled off of the victim's already dead body.
Order, order! What is the meaning?
What is the meaning of this, Wright? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim has already died? What does that change?
Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was that button torn off? What purpose did that serve?
What purpose?
You know this button was not torn off during the fight. So the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this off from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it?
Mr. Wright, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with this button? What was it?
To destroy evidence, to pin the crime on Edgard. Have a memento of the crime. Jesus Christ, these options.
There's only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. Engard. There's no way anyone would put a bloody button in their own pants.
Well... I can think of a scenario where that happens.
That's right, Mr. Engard was set up. By the real killer, of course.
And real murderers? Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is a real killer?
Did that say the real murder? Or did it say murderer and I just misread it? Because I'm pretty sure it was supposed to say murderer. Nah, I went through it so fast. I'm just out of through a lot of text already.
Finally.
Okay, yeah. This is gonna be the one big question that they want me to answer.
I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point.
Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet. Not until the very end.
The real killer, that person who planned to frame Mr. Engard is...
It's a lot of heart. I mean, honestly, out of all these options, Andrews is like the only one that I could see, you know, that I could see, like, physically even pulling this off. I mean, Von Karma is also actually a really good candidate. Gumshoe, too pure of an individual. Celis Impacts. Don't know her personally, but I don't think she's been around long enough to plan this murder. Unless her suicide note was a very specific and well-detailed plan on how to kill Corrido and blame it on a guard. And Andrews would have finally gotten her hands on that. So honestly, we know Andrews was in the costume. She walked out of the room in that costume, was taking a picture of in that costume to pinpoint, you know, suspicion on Engard through the costume, and also woke up Engard in the bedroom wearing that costume, and also apparently put a button up his pants. Which is a little weird, but you know, she already committed murder. Slight, you know, sexual harassment is really not that far off that.
Miss Adrian Andrews, I choose you. You are Mr. Corrido's killer.
What? She broke an hour pair.
Order, Mr. Wright. This is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge?
Any evidence? All of the evidence points to Miss Andrews.
What? How preposterous. You can't stick any of that on me.
I can't, can I? Would you care to test me?
Then, what about this knife?
The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion into Mr. Engard, naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And the only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you.
I was really hoping the game was not gonna ask me to show once again as to who was he having dinner with. Because of course I would have known it was Andrews, but like that would have felt really redundant. Just like asking about the knife again. Another pair? God, that's so many pairs. I'm starting to think those are fake. Or then she's got a really good, you know, a paycheck coming in on a weekly basis to buy it. Just a row of glasses.
Then, what about the button that was found in Matt's
Hakama, sorry. Jesus Christ. I'm starting to lose my voice.
This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. Engard was the real killer, there is no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakama.
Another pair gone.
The only person who could have put this button into Mr. Engard's Hakama is the person who went to wake him up from his nap, which is you, again, Miss Andrews.
I see. What about the guitar case?
That is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was such a costume inside the guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews.
No. No.
Honestly, my voice is fading. Just give me a moment.
Okay, let's get back to this sexy British man. But the Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case. And it was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time.
Oh, that's right.
That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left the fingerprints on the glass to show that, yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. On top of it all, there is this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on earth can believe this nickel samurai is Mr. Engard. He'd be much too short for his own costume if he was him. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not?
Please stop.
Well, how about it, Miss Andrews?
I got her this time.
Miss Andrews?
I refuse to testify.
What was that?
There's a law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me.
Ah, the Fifth Amendment. Welcome to America.
Well, yes. You are absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with the way to avoid self-incrimination by allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves.
What? You didn't know? Oh yeah, you have never even opened a law book, except for that one that you dropped on your feet. You didn't even get through the fucking amendments? All the way to the, not even to the fifth one? Good God, Phoenix.
Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot.
Oh, actually, no, he's familiar with it.
Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. Engard's room.
Adrian Andrews. Yes.
Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood?
Alright.
That's it. That's when Francisca planted this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews to not testify if things look bad.
If it did, you did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. But there's still one thing you haven't done.
Something I haven't done?
What's wrong, Wright? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence?
What's so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless.
What?
Everything you have proven is circumstantial.
Circumstantial?
Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Mr. Corrida.
Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Corrida?
I believe this may lead to me incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering.
But Miss Andrews, if you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think?
Maybe so, or maybe not. There is nothing to prove either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence.
No, she's taking that defiant attitude again. Mia, what should I do? What should we do?
Somehow we landed in the worst possible situation. A person using their God-given rights.
I think we have reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Miss Adrian Andrews has refused to testify, and the defense's theory that she is the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof.
But that's not true.
In this situation, there is only one thing this court can do, and that is to declare a recess.
Recess?
I request that both the prosecution and defense look further into this matter. And at tomorrow's trial...
Tomorrow? We don't have a tomorrow. If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then... Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial? Please continue the trial.
What are you sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he?
That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya...
Huh? Oh, so Edgeworth actually does not know. So Gumshoe did not. Okay, it makes sense. Gumshoe did not. Gumshoe's no snitch. Except when he accidentally reveals information. But we forgive him for that. Because he's always in our favor.
Well, it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is...
It is not impossible for this trial to continue.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you?
It's true Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incriminating. However,
If the topic of conversation were something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony.
Yes, that is very true, but
Actually, there is one little thing that I'm curious about. Miss Andrews, when you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes, and I can't help but think how unnatural that is. Usually when one finds a body, they are shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice.
Some actions were unusual, but I've already...
Before you speak, I want to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify that to that effect.
Testify?
Your Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness.
I don't know what he's about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read of him.
Of him.
Is he friend or foe? I just don't know.
the court acknowledges the prosecutor's request. Miss Andrews, if you please.
Holy shit, this keeps going. I actually kind of thought this was gonna be an hour break, but no. I think I set my course for this trial to end here and now. When I found the body.
That glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked in the room and saw it in that messy state. And Juan, he was sitting slumped over tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice. When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over.
Okay, can I pick anything? God.
Oh my god. So you poured that glass of juice for the victim. Why didn't you say so in your earlier testimony?
I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial. Phoenix, please be careful here. If you can't find anything wrong with this testimony, then there's nothing left.
I know. Edgeworth, what the heck is going on in that brain of yours?
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Oh boy.
That glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself.
Okay, I need to save here again because if I don't know at what point the game is gonna trick me the next time, but there's a high chance it's gonna do that any moment here. So even pressing the wrong thing can result in a failure here.
But there wasn't anyone else in the room, right?
Of course not.
Then who did you pour it for?
Mr. Wright, there's a rhyme and reason for everything. Can you wait just a little longer for it to be real to you?
In other words, Wright, be quiet and listen.
Precisely, I couldn't have said it better myself. I was surprised when I walked in that room and saw it in that messy state.
So it was a mess? Are you sure it wasn't messy because of your fight with Miss Corrida?
I understand your frustrations are at not being able to prove your theory. However, before you go accusing people of crimes, go find yourself some evidence. And then, what did you see next, witness?
And Yuan, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner.
Corner.
Slumped over?
Yes, he was just standing there with his head tilted forward, eyes closed. He really looked like he was sleeping.
Is it just me or did that right there sound a little odd?
Yeah. He was on a fucking chair.
I saw him sitting like that. The thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind.
And what did cross your mind?
I thought maybe he had smashed everything up in anger because he lost the Grand Prix, and then felt tired after his rampage, so he decided to take a nap.
Very healthy, very normal. Go smash up a fucking hotel room, I guess. Because you lost because it came in second in a competition.
Anyways, that's what I thought.
I see, so you didn't think he was dead at all?
To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice.
You thought he fainted?
I thought he was asleep at first, but then the room was in such a messy state. Thought maybe he had gotten into a fight with someone.
And that's when you went to pour the glass of juice.
Yes, he always has a hard time waking up, so Juan always has a glass of tomato juice to drink.
I see. And after that, what happened next?
When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over. how did you come to realize that he was in fact dead? I shook him over and over, but I never got a response. So I set the glass down and took the rest and tried to take his pulse. I was shocked and staggered backwards.
I knocked the flower vase over, so that's what happened.
Yes. Here's what it all comes down to.
Huh?
This is the absolute end of both sides, and Adrian is letting her guard down. Phoenix, now is our best chance to kill the prosecution's case.
Is that a bit harsh? Miss Andrews, will you tell us the truth this time?
Well, time to kill her. Here we go. I can't believe we still haven't even gone into that. Like, I have a feeling this is not... Like, there's gonna be another day of trial somehow. But I know where I'm going with this at least. I did save just in case, because there's always a room for mistake for me to make. This is not a corner. It's a chair.
Your Honor?
Are you fucking... Never mind. My perception of reality does not match with the game. That's my bad. Okay, I will say, it's a little weird, like, the man has a knife stabbed to his chest, and you're like, he's fine. That's what they were going for. Got it.
So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him?
No, not at all.
Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body?
Like, I thought this was not a corner, but then when I saw that corner of the room, I was like, fuck, it's got have my ass for that one, isn't it?
What is the meaning of this?
Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There's a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Carter's chest. Anyone who saw the scene would have immediately thought that here was a dead man.
Or dying. Because still, that knife looks really fucking wimpy.
That's, well, you see...
I doubt a single person in the world would mistake this for someone who fainted. Then so nonchalantly go pour something to drink.
Your point is?
Miss Andrews, your testimony just now, it was all one giant lie.
And now a pair of glasses.
And your lie has proven one thing very clearly. That you are the real killer.
Holy fuck.
It looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. Defendant, Mr. Matt Ingard, is not guilty after all.
But that's impossible, you're wrong.
Miss Andrews, try to have some composure.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt, I swear he's the one who killed Juan.
But you were the one who refused to testify. And your reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating yourself?
And that's because...
Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you?
I refuse to testify.
Then there is no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Matt Ingard's innocence has been clearly demonstrated.
Is it over? Have we found the truth at last?
What's wrong, Phoenix?
Usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt. And now that I think about it, it's the first time someone hasn't.
Now then, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Matt Ingard.
Damn, crazy. The case wasn't solved like in a reality TV show. Or more like in a TV show, non-reality TV show. This was more like a reality TV show where they just refused to testify. No, reality TV show would absolutely milk that scene. And here we go. I fucking knew it.
Your Honor, the prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time.
What?
The reason is quite simple. This witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth.
The absolute real truth? What are you?
Witness, don't you understand yet? Huh? I don't know who planted the silly idea in your head. But as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Matt and Gar will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party.
That's a lie. I don't believe you.
What?
I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over, and Matt would never be declared guilty.
What in the world is she talking about? Has she lost it?
I can't speak about it. I'm too scared. It's Francisca von Karma.
Huh?
Don't you remember, Phoenix? Miss Andrews lives by gripping tightly into the words of another. Because she doesn't have the strength to believe in yourself.
She found herself a new dummy mommy. Oh no. Well, actually, this time a real dummy mommy. Good God.
Then right now, Miss Andrews is...
Yesterday she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss Von Karma. Don't say a word, no matter what happens. If you do, Matt and Gar will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undyingly believes in those words right now, and is clinging on to them.
And what should we do? This is the first time I've ever come across anything like this. But Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? All we have to do is now is get our not guilty. That is my only priority.
It wasn't me, I'm begging you. Please believe me. I didn't kill you on. Help, please, someone, help me.
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
the court can't continue on like this, therefore I would like to hear what you intend to do.
What I intend to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say?
Oh shit, Phoenix is given power. Right, I suggest you think very carefully about this. Think about what this witness did and what she did not do. And think about who is the real mastermind behind this crime.
Who's the real mastermind? Is that obvious? There's no one else it could be except the woman crying over there, right?
Come now, what will you do? What kind of man are you, Mr. Phoenix, Wright? Shh, damn, this keeps fucking going. It keeps fucking going. Nah, I can finish this today. Force Andrew to testify.
I have to win a complete acquittal today. There's no way around it. But I can't bring myself to do it like this. Not when she's out making a face like that. Miss Andrews, I would like to know what you are really hiding.
Mr. Wright, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Nope.
Sure, Mr. Engard would get an acquittal, but in his place he would be found guilty. Is this how you really want this trial to end?
Be quiet, how dare you? You're trying to trick me.
That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear that the defense's theory is the truth.
You're wrong.
What a shame. Huh? I had hoped things wouldn't come to this. However,
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court.
Stop.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Oh fuck, it's a pursuit theme. This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness.
What?
And because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past.
Stop. Please stop.
No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here. Jesus Christ, Edgeworth. Talk about subtlety.
That's...
That's the second part of the suicide report. The attempted suicide report.
What will you do now, witness? You know what I am about to do, don't you? I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews.
The secret of her dependent nature. When other people know about it, scares her more than anything else in the world.
Please, please stop. I beg you, if people find out, I'll...
Really terrible timing on that one. If you're going to say you would choose death, that is no concern to me.
Edgeworth, how can you be so cold?
Nah, I mean, it's a matter of, you know, her being found guilty
sentenced to death versus, you know, the actual killer coming out, or, well, you know, being found out.
However, before you die, I will pull the truth from your still breathing lips.
Okay, that is cold.
No matter what I have to do. So, will you tell the court yourself or shall I? Either is fine with me.
I'll talk, but please, help me. Nothing matters anymore.
My crime.
When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted. Honest. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I dashed back to Matt's room. And then, I stabbed Xuan's dead body with the knife and ripped off the bottom. Just when I finished and was returned to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. And that's why I ended up using the nickel samurai costume.
Stab the body with the knife? Well, why would you do that?
Isn't it obvious to pin the blame on a certain person? A certain cowardly man.
What do you mean by all of this?
It might take this court a little while to understand, but this is the truth.
The real killer is Matt, that scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time.
Last time? So, Miss Andrews stabbed the victim, Shion Korida, in the chest with the knife. However, she didn't do it with murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt and God for the murder. And this is her crime. I do feel like framing somebody for murder is a bit of a crime.
What? How is this possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer?
Mr. Wright, please go over your shotgun comments to cross-examination.
Cross-examination, my crime. Holy, how many have you done today? I think this is the 6th one already. Oh my god. I know I stepped into this myself. But holy fuck.
But you could tell from the state of the room was in that there must have been a fight. Are you telling me the truth? Not the truth when you say that you did not know he was dead.
He had a scarf there around his neck. But that scarf is a part of the Jammy Ninja's costume, so I didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit so I couldn't see his face. Ah well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up and went for the truth.
Holy shit.
When I realized he was dead, that's when I formulated my plan.
What is this plan you had?
I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because Xuan, he was going to expose Matt's weakest weak point in the world. So Matt did this to stop Xuan and silence him for good. That's when I thought I should forge some evidence and pin this crime on Matt.
So the forged pieces of evidence were the knife and the button.
The first thing that came to mind was to plant the knife. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room.
That was so you could get the knife, correct?
The knife I used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it. So if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. Matt was napping with his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime.
Jesus Christ.
And then I stabbed Yuan's dead body with a knife and ripped off the body.
So you were the one who stabbed the victim with that knife?
It gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a terrible, horrible thing to do, a thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. Then, when I stabbed Yuan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I used a button somehow, I could make Matt look even more suspect.
So you thought to rip one of the buttons off and then plant it in Mr. Guard's Hakama?
Yes, that's what I had planned to do. But things never go that smoothly, do they? So when I finished and I was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience.
An inconvenience?
There was a woman with a camera at the ready, loitering in the hallway.
I'm willing to bet my spikes it was Lotta.
This is now the 3rd time Phoenix has, threatened to, shave his head.
There was a woman with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth. It was also a woman.
That's Miss Old back for you.
I had already been caught and made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once, so I couldn't very well go out and look like myself and get caught again. And that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume.
You're the one who prepared that costume, aren't you?
Yes, I took it from Global Studios. I was putting in Shuan's guitar case the day before the award ceremony.
You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct?
Yes, Yuan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. He was going to disclose Matt's big secret there.
And it would not be a weird thing at all that he sounds completely different than he normally does on stage? Of course not.
And why is this secret?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I thought that if I were to leave Yuan's room in the Nickel Samurai costume, then people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume.
I think we've heard enough. So after that, we went back to Mr. Engar's room and planted the button.
Into Matt's hakama, yes. After that, I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. Then I snuck it out of the bottle and got rid of it.
My word, what does all this mean?
Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt Engard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk.
Francisca, huh?
She said that I should under no circumstances confess to what I had done. If I just kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words.
Damn. Well, Karma messing up things again.
What this witness has done is truly unlawful. However, as long as her testimony stands, we can be certain she is not the real killer.
Why, Your Honor? Defense to
Right. It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything.
Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. The cross-examination of this witness is over, and so is today's trial. We can establish that the witness was the culprit, so let it go, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning.
Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately.
That is all. Court is adjourned for today.
Damn. Well, she's dead. Maya, that is. Oh shit, that took double shots?
Today's trial, it's over. And I didn't win an acquittal.
Witness, would you mind if I ask you something?
Edgeworth?
What is it?
Before you leave court today, I wonder if I might look at one thing. That card in your hand, it's had my interest for quite some time now. Same here, actually. What exactly is it?
Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked about this.
Le Conch.
Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright, I remember just now. I found this in the room on that day.
The room?
That day?
Yes. I found this card when I discovered Huan's body. It was lying there right next to him.
You found that card next to the victim's body?
I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. I saw that not as if this card has any relevance to Yuan's murder, right?
Yeah, I guess not, but it's still a strange card. If you ask me. As far as clues to this case, I don't see why.
Mia? Witness, that card, give it to me, hurry!
Edgeworth?
Do you have any idea what you have stupidly yet inadvertently done? This, I can't believe you hid this from me all this time.
I didn't mean to. What is this all about?
I've never seen Edgeworth so emotional before. That card, what in the world is it? And what does it mean?
Alright. Well, I finished the trial today. Not the case. That apparently still keeps on going. Holy fuck. No, not here. This one.
Oh my god, this fucking game, man. I mean, even with my fumbling, this would have still taken me about... Well, I could have maybe saved half an hour had I been a little smarter. March 22nd, 5:24 p.m. Wright and Cole law offices. Mystic my sniffle. But we're gonna see how that plays out only tomorrow. Oh my fucking god, this game. Oh my god. I was so sure that if I go for the extended trial today, I would get to the bottom of this, but no. Oh my god, it goes on for so long. But anyways, it's late, I'm tired, and I actually have things I need to do for tomorrow, and I kind of... Well, sort of kind of forgot about them. Well, kind of, yeah. So I should call it a day here. Yeah, this is a fucking mess. Maybe all gets revealed tomorrow. Hopefully, because I have my April Fool's thing coming on. Well, April Fool's Day. So I'm gonna try to finish this tomorrow. But anyways, for now, thank you all, and hope somebody has brain cells still left, because I sure don't. Thank you all, and bye-sies.